destiny helper. How are you? Thank you for joining us tonight for 1 hour live on YouTube. We're going to be discussing when the narcissist is silent. What could that mean? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? You're going to see comments of individuals who have went through that, who understand that, who are now voicing what they went through. And some of the things they're saying is your help because some of you are going through that. And you think no one understands. You think you're by yourself. And most people will make you feel like you're crazy and you're not. Hey, Ernestine. We're here to let you know that you're not crazy. Hello there, MMXW. How are you? Hey, Teravia. Thank you for joining us. We are live, and we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much. I really value you joining us. Hello there, Just Be Real. How are you? And your words are very valuable on this port. She said, I'm good, thank you. All right, MMXW, we're talking about when the narcissist is silent. If they're silent, could that be a good thing or could that be a bad thing? What is usually happening when the narcissist is silent? Are they calculating? Are they strategizing? Sometimes you can see in their eyes the intent of them, what they're planning to do. Hello there, Queen Thickness. How are you? She said, oh, Lord. Oh, yes, ma'am. The narcissist is not silent. If when they are silent, they are refueling. That means they don't put out too much fuel, and now they have to rebuild themselves. Hello there, Queen Thickness. They have to rebuild themselves. And this is usually when they ghost you. They're in the house, they don't have a lot to say. They seem to be cordial. They seem to be on the downplay. They're not fighting. They're easier to get along with, but that is this eerie feeling that is about them. Is an eerie feeling in the atmosphere. You just can't put your hand on it. Two things are happening. Either the narcissist, as stated before, is refueling because they put too much fuel and they did not get enough to suffice the energy that they put out. Hello, E-Baby. Thank you so much for joining us. So what they put out did not equal what they got back. So they put out too much fuel. They have to rebuild themselves. And when they rebuild, they go to the primary source of energy, which is the primary source in their home, the one that they're married to, the one that they're around all the time, the one that is there. They go to that source and they refuel in that place because narcissists consider the primary source a safe place to refuel. Doesn't matter how much they're going out, doesn't matter they're serial cheating, but they don't count those sources as safe, because they're still pulling them in. They're still trying them. And when they're trying to replace a primary source, the primary supply always take time to replace because usually they have been with the narcissist between the minimum of 3 to 5 years. Hello there, Sunny Lou. And so they are replacing the primary source with time. It takes 6 months to a year to pull in directly and security a primary source that you want to replace, because like I said, the primary source has been with the narcissist a minimum of 3 to 5 years. Hello there, Edith. And so the narcissist has tried that primary source, and that primary source has proven faithful. They broke them down and almost mold them into the shape where they are congruently operating like the narcissists want. They're demonstrating the mindset of being broken. They're demonstrating the trauma bond that the narcissists need. They're demonstrating codependency upon the narcissist. When the narcissists get their primary source like that, they feel a little more at liberty to go out. And you'll find that when they're love bombing you, they're locking you in, they're not doing as much because it's not safe for them. They haven't locked you in like they want to. And the primary source is usually a stronger woman, a stronger man, because they have to endure with the other sources that they're cheating with. They don't have to endure because they don't stay with them. They're not going to be with them. They're going to go visit them. They may spend a few days with them. But the primary source is their lifeline. So they're going to invest in their primary source. Their primary source get the worst treatment because they have to do the most damage to the primary source. And when they go silent, two things. They've given out too much energy, like stated before. They have to rebuild. When the narcissists do this, or they're plotting. The primary source has released something that has disturbed the narcissist. They may see a strength in the primary source that wasn't there before, because the primary source, they met a new group of people, and they noticed when the primary source met this group of people, there was a strength that the primary source was getting. They was enabled to a greater force of power, a greater force of strength. And the narcissists notice that what they do to the primary source does not disable them like before. They're able to bounce back quickly. They're fighting back. They're voicing themselves. They're saying what they mean. They really don't care about subservience like before. They're protecting the kids. They're speaking out. They're saying they're going to get help. They're saying they're not going to allow you to do this. They're saying they're not putting their finances. A lot of times in this time, the supply is really talking too much. So the narcissist goes silent. So the narcissists start to scheme. So the narcissists start to plan. And let me tell you, a planning narcissist against you is a very dangerous narcissist. Why? Because a narcissist exemplifies patience like you wouldn't believe. You said they're impatient. Yeah, but they're also patient. When they want something and they go after what they want, that becomes their target. That becomes their focus. And if you notice, a narcissist is like a child with HDD. When you get a child with attention deficits and they lock onto something, it's hard to get them off. It's hard to pull them away. They want that thing right there and they lock onto that and they don't come off. They stay there. They keep doing that. It's like a child that has an autism spectrum. They look at that ball and you tell them they can't have that ball. And they look at that ball, you say, you can't have that. All their focus go on the do nots. The narcissist is very focused with intent. When he plans or she plans something against you, you can see them calculating in their eyes. They're not saying nothing. And sometimes they're compliant. Everything you wanted them to do, hello there, Cluster B Free Karen. Everything they want that you wanted them to do, all of a sudden they start doing it. No complaint. They just start out of the blue. You notice that when they go to work, they're coming home. You notice they're not on their phone as much. They're helping you clean. They're helping you cook. But when you sit down to eat and you look in their eyes, it's such evil intent in their eyes. It confuses you because what's in their eyes doesn't match what they're doing. What they're doing is everything you ever hoped for, everything you ever dreamed, everything you ever imagined. You've been trying to get them to do this for years, and all of a sudden they start doing it. They start helping you with the house, and you thank them, and you're looking. They start paying bills, and you thank them. But every time you look up, and then you look up one day, and that's that black-eyed stare where they're looking you in your eyes. And every penetrating stare is filled with evil that chills your bones. And you'll wonder, what is that? You've never seen nothing like that. And then sometimes it's like something else is looking through their eyes. And you're wondering, what is that? And when you see it, you can't tell anybody because you don't know how to explain it. They don't consider that man evil. Now you invite your friends over. Oh my God, he's the perfect host, but he's devious. She said, my father ghosted my sister and I because we did not respect him, and he can't stand it, and he wants ultimate control. Ultimate. Because when they ghost you, they are refiguring what they're going to do to you. They are making a plan. And I'm telling you, don't you be fooled when a narcissist is silent. He's not silent because he's doing good. He's doing good because he don't have the energy to do anything else. His energy is spent. Or when a narcissist is sick, they found out something going on in their body, they will get like this. They will start being nice to you because they need somebody to take care of them. And guess who's not going to do it? They're outside. Hello there, Danielle. How are you? They're outside chick. They're outside supply. Not going to do it. Most people in the 21st century is different than the women and men that the narcissists got long ago. They was passive. They were subjective. They submerged themselves into whatever the narcissist want. People nowadays, they fight. They come to relationship fight. I ain't doing that. I'm not cleaning the floor. I wasn't raised to clean the floor. I'm done. So they give the narcissist a fight. She said, yep, they will leave once they see the tactics are not working. See? But when they're ghosting you, listen to this. It's like, have you ever seen the Animal Maniac cartoon? Where this little girl would rub the animals, but she rubbed them so hard their eyes went to the middle of their scalp. And she talking about how much she loved them, but she will abuse them in her love. He always seems to find someone. He pays all of the bills. But they won't give half of a cent more. Because they're trying to impress you. They're not trying to do more. They're trying to do the barely. So you can't say they're not doing nothing. They're doing something. But I'm going to tell you evil where you're in the room and it seems like the room is 80 degrees outside. But the room is 30 degrees and it looks like it's below zero. And sometimes you may hear them growl. And you're looking like, did I hear what I hear? Because when they're recharging all of their energy, they seem like they're at your mercy. I remember that from Animaniacs. Right. She loved them and rubbed them, but she would be abusing them with every touch. She would rub them so hard they would be in pain. And that's what the narcissist does when they're silent. They're rubbing you, they're stroking you, but you're in pain. She said when they seem lost of control, the narcissist start the love bomb again and causes cognitive dissonance because they sing in confusion. It's like gaslighting. You put the keys down, nobody in the house but you and him. The keys leave. And you're like, wait a minute. I know. You know that you know that you know. You put the keys on the dresser. They'll end up in the kitchen. You're like, what? And the narcissist, I didn't do that. That's where you put them. And start making you doubt yourself. Viper 9593. Okay, they deleted the message. Oh, Danielle deleted the message. So you start warring with yourself, trying to figure out what's going on. Love making, oh, they can't get enough of you then. Because they need your pull. They need your energy. And they're pulling energy from the primary source. The primary source energy is different from a regular energy. The primary source energy is more valuable than a regular energy. The primary source energy fills every need until they are full and they are no longer silent. Everything they was giving you, everything you was giving them, now they want you to back off. She said, that's right, Danielle. He brought me all kinds of gifts. She said, but I didn't pick it up. My father was my first male abuser, and I would never trust him. Absolutely. Absolutely. See, so when you know that the silent streak, and you'll know the silent streak is broken, they're very vocal. What are you doing? You're like, what do you mean what I'm doing? I brought you this because you like 3 days before, they love the fruit trays. They love what you did. And now what they do is terrible. I never told you I liked that tray. Yeah, you did. That's why I fixed it again. You just go in your own mind, and now you're trying to put it on me. I hate when you blame me for something I said, and I know I didn't say that. You know I don't do fruit trees. There wasn't a time that you brought a fruit tray that he didn't like it. But now, all of a sudden, he don't like it. He done got his fuel. He done been replenished, and he's on the prowl. And you're in the way with your words. You're in the way with your emotion. Move out of my way because I'm going out for another supply. The goal you dangle before me no longer interests me. 24 hours, a difference. 15 minutes, the difference. Once the narcissists know they have charge, they are no longer silent. When they've been silent, and usually when they're recharging, they may be silent for a week. They're doing all the things they know you want them to do for a week. But you never looked at them and they wasn't calculated. You never looked at them and they were not seizing a plan to get you. You look at them, you saw the black-eyed stare. You saw it. You couldn't deny it. It was there all the time. And when they looked at you, these chills that go through your body, it's like a stabbing dagger. It puts fear in you. And you walking around your house thinking, what was that? What was that? But their behavior is different than what you saw. So you dismissed what you saw based on what you see them do. Two different things. So like Karen said, it's cognizant dissonance, where you're in full denial of what you see. But what you see was a reality. What you see was in place. What you see was truth. But now you are denying that truth because they lie so much. They live the lie. They cause you to enjoy the lie with them. They give you back rubs, head rubs, rub your feet. A dangerous enemy is a silent enemy. A dangerous enemy is a deceptive enemy. Deceit. They're good at it. They live it every day. Can you imagine a person who live a lie every day? Sandy Lou says, ex-husband now deceased, eyes went blank. They went black and frauded. And he frauded at the mouth. Was the scariest sight. What did you do when you saw that, Sandy Lee? She said, the egomony they want us to dismiss the truth. Yep. And told my mother, let me see. Oh, okay. She's erasing that. Let me tell you something. People who have not lived with a narcissist, never experienced a narcissist, have no idea what you're going through. That's why they can call you crazy. They're like, I don't want to hear that. God has blessed you with a good man and you don't know how to appreciate him. God has blessed you with a good woman and you so stupid. You know how many people want what you have? And you looking at her. I sure hope they don't get it. They've never lived with constant evil. They never lived with constant belittling and degradation. They never had somebody. Somebody probably did them wrong and backed off, or they got a break and they came back. But to be deliberate, every day you walking on eggshell, every day you walking on ice. She said, I wouldn't. She said, I would check the time, go quiet and wait. Get out of the house ASAP. She said, frothed, white, bubbling saliva was gross. That was a demon. Y'all, telling you, if the devil was in your house, what kind of thought you think he would have toward you? You think he would plan your success? The devil was in your house. Do you think he would plan for you to have confidence and strength? Or do you think he will plot your demise? I think he was a demon. I got out. I know you did. And quickly. And then what happened? Did you go back? She said, use wisdom, not war. Proverbs 26:4-5. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you will be like him yourself. She said, answer a fool as his folly deserves. So what he will not be wise, so that he will not be wise in his own eyes. Absolutely. You know, after you spend time with a person, you get to know them. You get to know their rationality. You get to know their reason. And a person that been with a narcissist should be smart enough to know that a narcissist is filled with himself. Anything that removes him from himself is an enemy. Anything that remove a narcissist from themselves is an enemy. The narcissist can't cater to you because they don't have no compassion to give to you. And when the compassion is from the frontal lobe, it's self-centered. I'm giving to you because I'm planning to get this out of you. Oh, I'm going to cater to you because this is what I want from you. Everything is a transaction always. She said, once you've seen the eyes go black, she said, you can't unsee it. You can't. You can't. Because it's from another realm. And your mind cannot calculate what just happened. I love you, baby. And your eyes say, I'm going to kill you every chance I get. Your eyes say, I hate you. I hate you. You're looking in their eyes to say, I hate you. And their mouth says, but I love you. And what is more impacting, the eyes or the mouth? The eyes. Because when they stare at you with those black eyes, it's penetrable. It goes through your bones. And the eyes talk. It's like your ears go deaf. All you see is the language of the eyes. You become tunnel vision. You don't hear nothing. You just see. And those eyes tell you, I hate you. I hate you. And I'm going to do what it takes to hurt you every chance I get. She said, yes, it's straight demonic, a straight demon looking at you. I mean, how can else you explain something that intense? Even if you never seen it. Because some of you have seen it more than once. Because you live with them. And each time it was terror. Each time it spoke the same thing. You never looked in the blank, black-eyed staring of the narcissist and got I love you out of it. Never. Ever. Ever. So, what do? That's what I was telling you. The silent narcissist is dangerous. Because they're calculating. They're stimulated with thoughts about what to do to you next. They line everything up for the kill. They line everything up for the attack. They totally get you off guard because they need energy. And when they need energy, they don't need you at your strength. They need to empower you with a falsity. This falsity throws you off. You're gaslighted. And you think they may not be so bad. All the stuff he did, look at him now. Look at her now. She's sweet. She's cooking dinner. The food is superb. She takes time with every meal. But when you look at her, she said, it happened when my brother tried to choke me. She said, and unalive me. Crazy thing is he said he was going to do it. I told you, never take a narcissist threat as empty. They're telling you what they're thinking. They're telling you what they're planning. And we think, oh, they just talking until it happened. Then you remember, like Danielle said, he said he was going to do it. And he did it. When they say, I'm coming back for you, because you have offended them, check this out. When you offended them and you caused a narcissist wound, a narcissist injury, she said, when I addressed the demon, his eyes turned black and he went for the knife. Oh. Danielle was stabbed several times. She was stabbed, y'all. He went for the knife. He didn't display the knife. He used it. He stabbed her in several places of her body. Danielle almost died with her mother standing there. Her escape, when she called the ambulance, they took her out of the house. They picked her up. They caused her to live because they took her out. She said, oh my God. Oh, Danielle can tell you a story, baby. She's here by the grace of God. And then her mom allowed him back in the house. After he got out of jail, he went back to the house that he stabbed his sister at. And his sister was in the house. Y'all, come on now. There has to be some point we wake up. There has to be some point we see this. We got to stop with cognizant dissonance. We got to stop making excuses for them. We have to. She said, that's right there, Mom. She said, but what you don't appreciate, God will remove from you. Let me tell you something. This girl, thank God for Danielle. Thank God for her freedom. Thank God for her liberation. When her job, her contract ended, she had to go back home. And the mom allowed a former enemy back into the house. And God opened a door for Danielle to get out. And getting out, this young woman had a massive heart attack. Where they told her 100% of her heart was blocked from the stress of living this type life with someone who could care less whether you live or die. Narcissists chip away at your confidence. It's time to reclaim your power. It's time. And you do that by dismissing yourself from their presence. You can't be in the midst of a virus, an epidemic, unless God protects you. There is the miracle of protection. But a lot of times God gets you out. He brought Israel out of Egypt. He did not keep them there. He could have with all the plagues. And what he did, but they still exist. They still plot. There's still going to be warfare. He took them onward. There's a different kind of warfare. I'm taking you out of the former things you know. Because once you've been subjected to a submissive environment, you got to want to get out of there. That environment of control always empowers itself to control. So you have to control your will, your way, and go to safety. Why would you stay in an environment for love? What is love? Death, abuse, being harmed, being overthrown? She said, imagine your own father and mother beating you down, but then expecting all the children to be doctors and attorneys. She said, these people are pure evil. Kamar Walker said, God swapped me out. Ooh, God swooped me out. That's what I'm talking about. He will. He will. 430 years, Israel was under the auspices of Egyptian rule, Egyptian imprisonment. And then he sent in Moses to talk to them for several months to prepare them for 430 years of coming out. When you get that truth, you got to come out. She said, it took God to get me out. She said, that's why no one can convince me otherwise that narcissism is governed. She said, nobody can convince me otherwise. Narcissism is governed by evil, period. Period. No comma, no semicolon, no colon, period. When I know evil is intended for me, if I saw you put poison in the glass, why would I drink this substance? She said, narcissists often come from pain, from rejection, from needing to be protected, from needing to protect yourself before anyone else could hurt you. She says, somewhere along the way, you may have chosen power over vulnerability. Kamar said, period. To answer your question, yes, I went back and I left several times. The honeymoon, abuse, domestic violence circle until finally divorced and left for good. He died at 51, I think. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Do you know that they say that the narcissist, the relationship, or is really a situationship with a narcissist, they usually go back 7 times. 7 times they go back. 7 times. 7. 7 times they go back. For 7 times the abuse. She said his family dogged him out as a kid, and yet he praised them because they're the stronger narcissist. The stronger narcissist is always praised by the vulnerable narcissist. When you got family, you'll see who's the stronger one, the mother or father. Because sometimes it's not the father, it's the mom. The mother can be the dominant factor. And the dominant factor rules. The dominant factor, everything subject to that dominant factor. Kamar said, yeah. And when you got a family of narcs, that's a family of abuse. And you can mistake their confidence for security. And they're filled with fear. That's why they tear you down. If I tear you down, I can only do that because I'm torn down inside. Yo, come on. You can't give a person what you don't have. How a narcissist is going to give you love? They don't have it. She said, it's a whole system of fear. That's good, Danielle, it is. She said, I saw their faces look envious and jealous. When you see that there is a plot, there is a plan, there is a plot, there is a plan, there is a plot, and there's a plan. They can't stand for you to elevate. And if you're doing something to elevate, they're going to tear it down. And families feed the narcissist that you with. Family controls the narcissist that you with. So they can control him and get him to control you. She said, they couldn't trick me, God. God of diplomacy. G-O-D. God of diplomacy. 7 times, that's right. This is Sandalou. I was young, innocent, and naive, and I thank God for my freedom and happiness. Because sometimes you think, I don't want to break up the family. I got the kids, and I want the family to know their father's abusive to them. What are you talking about? Kamar said, hallelujah. What are you talking about? You want them to be with their father. Their father's abusive, even to them. And some of them are pedophiles. Because they see the kids as an extension of themselves. They won't stop. When you see what's wrong, you got to do something about it. Right? You got to do something about it. Because decisions start coming up in your mind. She said, I needed to hear that this is E-Baby. I hope I'm saying that right. Sandra Lucia, hallelujah. You know what? Sometimes you can be so abused, you get your fight back. Have you ever went there? You're getting so disgusted until they done pushed you in your fight back. You done abused me into my fight back. And sometimes you can get around a different group of people that got a different level of strength. And they are imparting that strength to you. They're telling you there's somebody that's going to believe you. There's somebody going to believe you. Especially when you meet a friend and they done went through a narcissist situation and had a situational relationship that was always transactional. Because anything the narcissist do for you, there's a price tag on it. That's why when I tell you they go silent, there's a price tag on it. When they real quiet, there's a price tag on it. When they ghost you, there's a price tag on it. There's never anything free from a narcissist. They're transactional all the time. Expect it. Expect it. It's transactional all the time. Now, some of the time, all the time. It may just take time to work their plan. Did you hear my daughter, Danielle? He said he was going to do it. And he did it. She wasn't prepared, even though he said it, because how can somebody be that devious? Oh, you got to listen to what they're saying. You hear me? You got to hear what they are saying. You got to understand the silence of the enemy. It reminded me of that movie, The Silence of the Lamb. The lambs were unalived by this perverted individual who could smell the fragrance of his prey to stimulate his appetite. Don't stimulate the appetite of the narcissist through fear. Because once they come out of ghosting, the fear, when they come out of silence, they eat fear like you eat a dessert. They need it because it's their channeling. Confidence is always superficial. They got all these little holes in them, and they need your holes to enlarge. Because what they want is an illegal transference. Your strength to their weakness. That's why everything that's not like them gets attacked. Everything. Everything different from them get attacked. And that was the thing that draw them to you. She said, yes, the silent hunter hungers to cause you pain for their satisfaction. In essence, said in a nutshell, no matter what they do, that's the goal. That's the goal. To get you to break your legs to keep you from walking, to break your arms to keep you from developing, to break your mind to keep you from thinking. They need broken vessels. Not broken vessels for the fragrance to come out. They need stopped up vessels, plugged up vessels, overload vessels, running over with fear, running over in the abuse, trauma. That's what they need. She said they want to break your will. See? Exactly. Because your will is the motivational part of you. It's the stimulus of you. It makes sure that what you want to do, the desire and the will work in congruent to each other. You desire the will, so I can do that. You desire the will so I can carry that out. You desire the will so I can make that happen. Break it. How is the desire going to happen? In your mind, nothing happens. When they break the will, there's no channel of release. You need supernatural power. That's when you need the supernatural power of God to over and to supersede above the will of man. That's the only thing can get it out. That's why when you discipline a child, you train the spirit without breaking their will. Most narcissists, their will was broken. Now they train your mind. They don't want your will. Because your will bring you out of anything. Your will say, that's enough. And then get into the will of God with your will. Your will submitted to God is empowered. It would eliminate frustration and open up a gateway. She said, yeah, very predatory. This is Israel born real. Yes, ma'am. She said, always, that's sad. I kind of feel sorry for him. I know you do. But honey, after a while, that sorrow going to leave when they do what they do. And what gets you is when they know what they do. They're intentional about what they do. They're intentional about what they do to you. Narcissists trains minds. Narcissists break will. Narcissists capture emotion. Narcissists distort judgment. All of those things they do. She said, yes, it's control. This is Israel, we born real. That's control. They gotta have it. There ain't no such thing a narcissist being in place without control. They don't like feeling helpless. They like you feeling helpless. And the more helpless you are, the more you feed them. Some narcissists constantly getting fuel. She said, I don't feel bad for them at all. They are all evil with intent. With intent. Danielle said, feeling sorry for a narc leads to enabling a narc to do what they do best. Woo! Y'all talking today. Y'all talking today, and that's true. That's what they want, your sympathy. A narcissist is a narcissist is a narc. Yep. E-Baby said, this was a great lesson tonight. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, baby. Israel say, actors. Ooh, the best in the world. The best in the world. That's why alternate reality, they live in it. Because it teaches them from being accountable. Yeah, feeling sorry keeps me there too long. Kamar, stop feeling sorry and get wisdom. Walk in your wisdom, because wisdom is the principal thing. Above all your wisdom, you get understanding. Because you got to remember, you can't change a person who don't want change. So you stand there, don't keep them or have an intent to change. You just there longer to be abused longer. But when they ain't planning to change, it doesn't matter how long you stay. Mom, can you feel bad for someone that's trying to take you out? Of course you can. You can feel real bad for them, but that don't mean that you should, because you got the right emotion. She said, I'm in my fight back right now. Oh, it won't be long. I got a video called When the Supply Has Had Enough. E-Baby, go on there. She said, survivor's ren. Survivor's remorse. You can't have that, because you won't leave. You would distort your own mind. You would distort your own view. You would distort and you would gaslight your own self. She said, a weapon designed to punish you, make you chase their approval, and create confusion in your soul. Woo, she's saying it. She said, everything is so much better since I've left 8 months ago. Of course, you're going to live now. She said, I was so turned. I was so turned. I fell in love with my abuse, and they become their abusers. You know what? They call it Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome is when you fall in love with your abuser or your intended killer. She said, I have peace now that I'm out. Absolutely. Because peace is in you. It wasn't in them. So you couldn't have it with them. Because they literally distorted and affected your environment every way they can. And what was in them came out in the environment. Especially when it's family. You try to serve them. You try to respect them. You try to do right. And some people make you feel bad that you don't let them walk on you. At some point, I got to get to my fight back. Like she said, I believe the Stockholm Syndrome is disguised so well in the family Knox dynamic. It is. It is. You know, you got to make up in your mind. When you put value to yourself, it's hard to let somebody devalue you. But if you don't value you, it's easy to let somebody devalue you. She said, so if the silence comes, don't panic, pivot. Girl, quit. Look at you. She said, use the quiet to reconnect with your truth. Rebuild your foundation, restore your peace. Girl, I need to send you an offering, them and them. Doggone. She said, hello, Mom. Hello there, Camilla. How are you? 15 minutes in, y'all. Don't panic. Pivot. Love that. See? 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 And pivot means your feet on the ground. You get ready to turn the corner. You're getting ready to change direction. You are shifting. Don't panic. Pivot. PP. DPP. Don't panic. Pivot. Eminem, write that down for me. Don't panic. Pivot. DPP. We're going to make a t-shirt. I slept in for 2 months after I left. Getting your strength back. Because they drained you. Getting your mind back. Because they drained you. Yes, Mom. DPP. Don't panic, pivot. If you don't pivot, you're going to panic. If you stay with death, it'll kill you. Kamar Walker, yes, the exhaustion is real. Everyone on this right now could tell you about that. Kamar, we know about it. We're there. I've done over probably about 15,000 people. Cases. When they stayed, they broke. They stayed too long. It broke them in every arena. Where they are young and they look old. Their bodies, big belly, tore up system, thrown off system, their whole system confused. They are a wreck. And those that was there that said, look, that's what you want. That's what you have all day. I ain't staying here. 3 months, they were out. They still had to go through recovery because it takes 2 years for 3 months. Unless God supernaturally imposed, then it can be expedited. But honey, those narcs ain't no joke and ain't nothing to play with. And you don't play with them. You don't see how things going to turn out. They're going to turn out the way they want. You got to do the work. You got to administrate your own mind. You got to take responsibility for your own life. I'm not going to sit here and let you kill me when I can live. Jesus died for me. Why do I have to die? Come on. Kamar said, don't play in the enemy's camp no more. The enemy's camp have snake pits. Those things moving on the ground is not the wind blowing leaves. Those are vipers. And they have teeth and they bite. And they don't care who they bite. They bite everything in the pit. They even bite each other. So you know they'll bite you. When the narcissist is silent, 10 minutes, Let me say this in this 10 minutes. When the narcissist is silent, know that they are the most dangerous. When they are plotting, planning, strategizing. Like you said, he was for another realm, the malevolent realm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And if it's malevolent, how can any good come out of it? But I love them, but they have to do it anything. But I don't want my kids to be raised by anybody else. You want your kids to be raised up by an abuser and you being abused, your mind being distorted, you no longer know your reality. You think you're going to lose it because he ain't giving you nothing. He's taking everything you take. He's taking everything you get away. Your strength, your life, your dignity, your mind, your thoughts, your dreams, your time. When you spend time with your children, it is with a grueling effort because it's what you have left after being with him, after being with her. You think they care about those kids? They care about you giving them the praise. You giving them what they think they deserve. It doesn't matter who suffer. That's something to think about. Y'all have been fantabulous. I mean, the comments, oh my God, was second to none, y'all. You're very powerful people. You're very strong women. You're excellent in your thinking. Why would you let a pauper break you down? There's a movie, it's an older movie, and it's called Kiss the Girl. And this was a debonair guy whose mother was overbearing. And he looked for strong, courageous, talented, career-oriented, some wealthy, and some just talented women. That's all he wanted. He hated a poor woman. He hated a woman with no talent. Every woman he talked to were gifted. And I mean, they weren't just gifted. They was an elite. He went after them, took them to his place. And then once he got them, he broke them down. The movie is a great movie to watch. It is. Kiss the Girl. And he said, all I want was to break you down. He couldn't get his mom, so he got every woman who reminded him of his mom, who had already died. He couldn't get back at her. He got back at strong women. She said that movie is a great movie study of how a narc operates. Smooth. Old boy was smooth. He was handsome. He was successful. He had money. His narc mom, dad, they probably left him money. Very successful in his career. Got the most powerful women and put them in cages until they cried for mercy. He didn't feed them and put men to just molest them. And the men would molest them like they wanted to until they cried out. Please, 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 please. And when they cried out, you know what? He said, I wanted to break you down. Once he broke them, he didn't want them. They were trashed. He didn't care what they did with them. Once they broke, he was done. Mom, I'm going to break you. I'm going to break you through every strong woman I meet. I'm going to get back at you through every woman I meet. And he put them in cages where they couldn't go anywhere. They couldn't call anybody. To go to the bathroom, they have to get permission. And they only ate when they were fed. They only bathed when they were allowed. When the narcissist come and your red flag go up, channel that energy out from the beginning. Because there's a spirit of mesmerization that mesmerized you with them. You figured 5 months later, 5 years later, she's so happy you are free from the narc. Me too. 5 years later, you're looking back saying, why didn't I leave when I thought about it? You done went through hell and back. Now you need a recovery zone. Now you need a therapist. You need a life coach. You need a psychiatrist. Once you done went through it, now you're going to have to help your brain to recover. You got to help your will to recover. You got to help your mind to recover. When the narcissist is silent and doing good things, it ain't because they're doing good things. They're recovering because they done wore their tails out. And they pulling your energy. While they're in the house, they're pulling your energy. That's why by the time they go out, you are drained. Too drained for the kids, too drained for yourself. They are pulling your energy. Y'all, listen to me. The narcissist is dangerous from the start to the finish. They don't ever get undangerous. Never. And you never get unbroken until you get your fight back. You never get undevalued until you get your fight back. Once you get your fight back, let it mature all the way where you get your dignity back. And sometimes that's leaving. The piece of being out and in another state now gives me the space and the real opportunity to heal for real and for good. Danielle, I'm giving you a high five. See, there was a narcissist that said this statement: when you know, go. When you know, go. Because you don't need 40 years of the same thing, and your kids need a psychiatrist when they leave your house. She said, heed Apostle Helen's message. Everyone and get you back. And that's true. All right, y'all. My time's up. This was such an awesome room. She said, because your worth is not measured by how loud they clap or how long they stay quiet. Your worth is rooted in God's love. Your identity, she said, and your healing journey. You know, I applaud you. Ladies, you were phenomenal. You make this room the success that it is. And I want you to listen up, because I will be making videos. Once I make these other videos that are recorded videos, I want you to like and share those videos. If you have not followed me, I want you to subscribe to this channel. Take time right now. When I go off, because I'm going off in 1 minute, take time to subscribe to this video. Tell people you know going through this. Tell your friends they're not crazy. Tell them there's somebody here that understands their journey. She said, be sure to like the video on the way out. Leave a comment and make sure you are subscribed. Thank you, Danielle. I love you all. Meet me here next Wednesday at the Fat Tabulous Bible Study. If you subscribe, you will be noted. You will be noted every time I come on. Thank you, MMXW. You are so welcome. I love you to life. God bless you. And you all have an awesome rest of the week. And remember the things we talk about. Remember the words that were said. Remember how strong you are. Remember that you don't have to put up with anybody that tries to bring you below standard. You are powerful. Remember that movie, Kiss the Girls? Go look at it. It's an older movie, but it explains prolifically what we're talking about today. I love you to life, and I'll see you next week. I'm Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. God bless you.